Hello people, what is going on? It is the Parkington Reborn, and we are showing you some Dark Souls 3 on screen, but we're going to be talking about two games I've chosen for us Dark Souls fans. One of them is well known and one of them is actually pretty low under the radar, but I'm going to shed some light on it and hopefully some people will have a look and it will impress you as it did me. The first title we're going to talk about is For Honor. Now immediately when I put the footage on the screen, you're going to notice that the graphics are very beautiful, and that is why I don't want to talk about them too much because they're self-explanatory, very realistic, and the architecture in fact is very well done. We've got a professional on the scene working on the architecture as well, so he's providing some very nice styles from the ancient times and from modern times also. So we've got a very dynamic looking setting, and here we are with the combat. The combat is what I really want to talk about, the mechanics, because that is what really makes Dark Souls a special game and a very difficult game, because everything is rewarding as much as it is frustrating or difficult. There we go, beautiful animation on screen there. So specifically in this game, focusing on the 1v1 battles, and that is generally how it goes in Dark Souls. You do end up getting matched with more than one opponent, but it can come down to your skill if you're good enough, and that is what I like about these games. It is more based on skill than it is stats. Hopefully the weapon customization and everything else in this game does cater to skill and not so much grinding out stats to outbeat your opponent with one-shot builds and such. I mean, if you can find a way and make it work, then fair play. Like a parry is not the easiest thing in Dark Souls to pull off, but if you do, then you can pull off a one-shot, and I think that's fair, because you don't pull off the parry, you're an open target. Otherwise, yeah, this game looks, or not so much looks, but I think would feel like Dark Souls when you engage in those very close quarter combat matches, because your weapons have weight, and you have to think about the animation before you do it, and obviously you have to think about what your opponent's doing, whether you can break their guard, whether you have an opening for attack, or having a look at what position they are so you are ready to defend their attack. Once you go for an attack in this game, you are open also for an attack, so if your opponent does his animation quicker, then you are, unfortunately, as you see there, in for a disappointment. The next game that I want to talk about is Absolver. Now, this game is under the radar. It's made by ex-Ubisoft developers, and it's a very unique game. Very unique. Not the most exciting. The gameplay that I'm showing you here is actually titled as 7 minutes of thrilling gameplay, but obviously it's not that thrilling, but I think if you're playing it, you will get a lot more feel for it. But as you can see, it's very slow paced, but at the same time fast paced, with nice stylish martial arts style combat. They do have weapons in the game, yet we haven't seen too much of them. I think I've seen a little sword on the one hand, but otherwise, as you see at the top there, on the top left, the stamina bar mimics a little bit of Dark Souls, and it acts a little bit more like Dark Souls. I didn't really see too much stamina in For Honor, but I'm sure there is something that can stop you from over attacking, because we don't want a hack and slash game. If everyone can just start spam bashing, then we're not here for a game of skill or a duel. We're looking at kids just who's got the fastest button bashing skills, I guess. Yeah, this game hits the spot, I think, a lot more so than For Honor, because this one focuses more on a very, again, I'm going to say, unique deck style building system. Now what this is, and I'll show some footage on the screen to make more sense to you, but essentially you can customize right down to the kind of kick you're going to throw and the stance you want to have in a scenario to counter your opponent's stance and the kind of attacks that they're going to be throwing. So you're essentially, your kicks and your punches and your movements are in a way Yu-Gi-Oh cards, except the monsters are, like I said, the attacks you're going to do and the stances you're going to use. So it's never been done before. I've not seen it done before in this way, so I'm definitely excited for this, and I hope you're excited for this. If you do see some Dark Souls 3 footage in the background, hopefully you'll see me murking some invaders, but go over to Absolver on the official website and look at their official videos. They explain it a lot more in depth. I was just kind of showing you the similarities and how they appeal to me as a Dark Souls fan, and I'm sure they'll appeal to you in the same way, and hopefully shedding some light on the game that not everyone is actually talking about. Now, everyone loves For Honor, but For Honor has a huge potential to crash as much as this one does. This one looks like it has huge potential in the PvP competitive areas, especially esports, if they do it right and they provide and facilitate PvPers with the tools to do so. But yeah, have a look at my other videos. I do some Dark Souls things. I Twitch live stream as often as I can, going through the new game on Dark Souls 3. A lot harder going through it that way than doing New Game Plus, because you have all your stamina upgrades and all your rings and all your weapons and everything else you need to get you through the game. Have a look at that. Follow me, subscribe, like, comment, dislike if you didn't like this. If you think I was chatting shit, that's completely fine. It's just my opinions. Everything's subjective here, but go over there, make your own opinions, and get excited like I am for these games. I'm definitely going to be streaming and editing these kind of games later on, and Battlefield 1 of course, but that is not for this video. So I hope you enjoyed. This has been Puck. Till next time, peace.